Caspa holders, welcome back to the Crypto ZX channel. You guys know what time it is, daily Caspa analysis updates. If you're enjoying these updates, do let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, without further ado, let's take a look at what's happening. And at this point, you guys know what's happening with the crypto markets. You know, Donald Trump announced tariff pause for not 1 month, not 2 months, but 3 months, which of course is bringing in a lot of excitement. And obviously, you know, no resolution in play, you know, exactly as of now. But of course, you know, you're starting to see movements happening in the right direction. Of course, you know, we did see Donald Trump coming in and announcing that, you know, he wants to work with China, you know, to come up with a solution. And I think, you know, we could see other countries coming on board and kind of, you know, coming up with an agreement, which is very much needed. But yeah, you know, that is that. Of course, you know, market reacted in a really positive way to that. And not a lot of people are happy at that fact because people think, you know, there has been high amounts of, you know, volatility within the crypto markets. But, you know, going back to what I've said, there's a famous saying in the crypto space, and I say it quite often on my channel, you know, be greedy while others are fearful, be fearful while others are greedy. And of course, you know, number one step is always do your due diligence, research, and invest what you can afford to lose. Very, very important. If you've done that, then, you know, patience is your number one key to follow because, you know, fluctuations will happen in the market. You know, if you have a long-term, you know, price projection and you're in it for the long haul, then your patience is your number one key to follow because let me tell you, this is not the first time and this definitely won't be the last. So that is that. But if you're looking at Caspa, it's up 10.4% right now. You know, it did some crazy moves today, as to be expected because, you know, so did the entire market. And Caspa has been showing a positive correlation to the broader market. We actually had a discussion revolving that just yesterday as well, that, you know, the fact that usually we did not see Caspa, you know, showing positive signs, you know, against the market, but that has shifted. And once again, we have seen it today alone. But let's take a closer look at it. But before we do that, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. So, you know, the price of Caspa right now, 6.6 cents right now, you know, up 10.3% in USD, up 3.7% in Bitcoin, comparative market cap at $1.7 billion, and the 24-hour trading volume at 113.7 million, which of course is through the roof as to be expected. A lot of, you know, futures numbers increasing quite significantly as well. So that's that. But before we get into it, as always, just a quick disclaimer, anything on this channel is not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence and research when you are investing in crypto. I apologize if I said that twice, but very important to note, as you guys know. As far as the dominance is concerned, you are seeing the dominance, you know, picking up traction once again. You know, spoke about this in my H-bar update if you did end up watching it. If not, you are looking at the dominance picking up, you know, pretty much where it left off of just a few hours ago. BTC, on the other hand, of course, it's going to have a positive impact, you know, to this Donald Trump announcement. And you saw Bitcoin retesting the likes of the 38.2 Fibonacci retracement level. We were unable to actually close within that range, but, you know, a great move. And I do believe that, you know, if it were to hold above this 81 to 82K range, I do personally believe that, you know, this could start heading towards the upside even more, as long as, you know, you don't hear any sort of hiccups regarding, you know, the tariffs. But anyhow, enough with that. Let's take a look at what's happening with Caspa. So, you know, we noticed a wick just 2 days back, and I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm referring to. If not, I will kind of share this with you guys. Remember this wick just on the 7th of this month, just 2 days back. I'm sorry, 3 days back. And, you know, we were talking about, you know, whether or not this wick is going to fill in. You know, it exceeded big time, you know, from that wick. So literally yesterday, before, you know, this announcement came out by Donald Trump, again, no one really knew that was coming, of course, unless if you were like some sort of an insider. But anyhow, if you're looking at it, you know, from the 5.8 cents, you saw Caspa go up 23.2% in a matter of just a few hours. So if you caught that, I'm sure you're not complaining by any means, especially if you caught that 5.2 cents price point. We're talking about a 40% almost gain for Caspa. You can see, you know, Caspa made its way up to 7.2 cents. It got stopped out right at the neckline of the key resistance, as to be expected. And of course, you know, market did see a little bit of a minor pullback as well, but you are seeing Caspa reacting in a positive way, you know, to this market analysis. I'm sorry, to this market momentum. And I know a lot of people are going to be scratching their head thinking, you know, why is this a big deal? Isn't that supposed to happen regardless? Yes, but you do tend to see sometimes coins that do the complete opposite. You see them decoupling. So obviously there's decoupling that is in a positive way, and that there's decoupling that's in a negative. A positive would be, of course, if the market is tumbling towards the downside, but this certain coin is actually outpacing the market. But of course it could go the other way as well, where the entire market is showing strength, but this coin is weak. So Caspa has pretty much kind of made itself back into this proper positively correlated zone. And right now, slowly but surely, upward trajectory is in play. The community is massive. A lot of people, big fans of Caspa, but of course, everyone needs to know at the end of the day, time is the most important factor. But I'm liking, the overall, reversal, into obviously correlation with the broader market. So far, so good. Of course, target, as I've stated to you guys before in the last few updates, still is at 8.2 cents, but we'll take it from there. Love you all. If you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that red subscribe button. We'll see you later in Crypto ZX, and peace out.